Hello, good morning, good afternoon. Sorry that today I started a little bit later than planned. I came back to New York from being in Cartagena for like 9 days. My name is Laura Chung, and I am the author of How to Manifest, and we are on day 35. We have 5 more days to go. Today is February 24th, 2023. And I hope you're having a beautiful day, a beautiful Pisces season so far. Pluto and Saturn are in their last degrees. So we are finishing up some cycles, major cycles. And Pisces season is a season about healing and letting go and releasing. So I actually wanted to pick an archetype with you today. This is by Kim Kranz, and I recommend this deck in my book, actually. So let's ask, what archetype? Ooh, I just saw the heart, so it didn't fall out, but I saw the heart. All right, what do you want us to know today? All right, the unseen. What a Pisces season sign. This card speaks about feeling into the unseen realms, the things that you cannot see, and how appropriate for Pisces season. I might actually read this card out loud because I love this book so much. Okay. The unseen, the spirit, the ancestor, the eternal. The unseen is just as it sounds. We cannot see it yet. It sees us, watching and waiting with wisdom, both kind and instructive. We feel this presence, sense it, intuit, and then doubt its existence. Though it rallies our attention time and time again, the energy of the unseen may come in many forms: a compelling dream, a sudden insight, a clear voice, a vision or message from a loved one who has passed to the other side. It is natural to fear these communications as they challenge our perception of what is real. When this card appears, your guides are near. The eternal is present. The doorway between worlds is ajar. Listen, the sounds may seem as though they come from a distant land, but they call from your innermost chambers. When light, clairvoyant guidance, whispers of wisdom, when dark looming energy, unwillingness to forgive, go deeper. King Hamlet, the three fates, the shining. Whoa, how appropriate for, and this is number 27 for Pisces season. Okay, so today is day 35, and we are talking about taking inspired action. We are finishing up this journey. We have 5 days. Okay, we have like 5 days left until March 1st. And March, like I've been saying since the beginning, is when everything changes. Everything energetically is going to shift. And you're going to look back on your life and say, wow, March was like the beginning, the catalyst to so much change. And obviously, we're talking about energy here. So not everything is going to happen in March, but March is a big deal month. It is an energetic change. As I said, we have the equinox, which is the astrological new year, Aries season. Mars enters Cancer after 7 months of being in Gemini. Sheesh. Pluto is going to enter Aquarius, and that hasn't happened since the 1700s, so 250 years ago. Saturn is going to enter Pisces, which hasn't happened in 30 years. So look back to what happened to you during 1994 to 1996. Pisces is my fourth house. The fourth house in astrology is ancestors and family. And in 1996, my grandma had a stroke. So that changed our entire family. So I'm not saying like the same exact things are going to happen, but I know once Saturn enters Pisces, it's going to be a huge focus on family for me personally. So we as a collective have never been alive for Pluto in Aquarius. So this is a big deal. And there's just going to be a lot of change happening. So this is why I did this journey 40 days before March 1st, so we could prepare ourselves for this change and also prepare ourselves for what we're meant for. I saw a funny TikTok yesterday that it was like this woman who was doing this parody, and she was complaining about how she kept manifesting the same person, and then she like switched perspectives, and the universe was like, well, I don't want to have to tell you this, but it's basically you reflected in another person, and we don't understand why you don't understand that in order for you to manifest what you're meant for, you have to change. And that's pretty much what I've been trying to get at this whole time from this manifestation journey is you have to be the catalyst for change internally first before you see anything out in the outer realm. So oftentimes when we start moving into scarcity mentality or poverty consciousness, we automatically feel like we're not doing enough. So we default to, working harder, working more. But really what needs to happen is shifting the focus inward and saying, there's a core belief that's still not in alignment. Something's out of whack, and I need to look at what that is. And I need to shift and change internally first. So here we are today, day 35, taking inspired action, because how we actually create the change is through our decisions and the action steps we take towards where we want to be. Take the first step in faith. You don't have to see the whole staircase, just take the first step. And that quote is by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Knowledge is useless without application. If you just read this book and don't take any action, then it's just a collection of paper and board, no more effectual than a cookbook or a book of knock-knock jokes. And that's why it was a 40-day journey with exercises every day, because, I've heard from different people who have read my book, especially through like Kindle format or Audible, is they will listen to the entire thing all in one shot, which to each their own, you can do it however you want, but that kind of defeats the whole purpose of this journey, which is really to take action and taking daily action. So here we go. Manifestation as a concept won't lead you to what you desire. We manifest who we are, remember that, not what we want. So you have to create the change. I don't want you to absorb the information without creating real change. So today, take action in whatever way you feel is necessary to create momentum in the journey we are taking toward co-creating your new reality. And to be clear, action does not always mean what we think it means. Action can be yin, and you could interrupt that to mean resting and taking care of yourself. I want to make a note here that manifesting the thing that you want is the first step, but you also need to know how to hold it once it exists. For example, you might be manifesting money, but once you get the money, what action steps will you take in terms of investing your money? Do you budget? Are you planning to ask for advice from professionals on how to manage your money? Are you managing the money that you already have right now? The manifestation process is not just the act of bringing dreams into reality. To truly close the gap on manifesting, you need a solid, grounded approach to hold this energy. Sometimes you don't receive what you want because the timing isn't right or you're being protected. That could mean that you didn't have a good plan for what to do with the energy you're calling in. But also remember that sometimes the truth of what you need to do will not be clear to you and can't be prepared for. In that case, you just have to have faith. All right, so I go on to say why it's important to take daily action and bridging the gap from current you to future you. And I just wanted to share a very quick example that I share actually in this book, but I'll just say it instead of reading it. So basically, right before the pandemic, I still had the same mentality from my corporate job that I did for my spiritual business. So like for my corporate job, it was all about hustle and grind. And this was like before like rest is resistance and like resting as a form of resistance and like the Nat ministry and all that stuff. This was before that. This was 2018. So I was hustling. I was constantly going into the city. I was constantly burning myself out because I had the same mentality as how I was working in my corporate job to my spiritual business. But that was the whole purpose of why I left my corporate job, because I wanted to leave the hustle and grind. I wanted to have a more relaxed and peaceful day to day. And I wanted to be at more peace, especially if I have a business that's spiritual, that I need my energy and my rest in order for me to help other people. So little did I know, obviously none of us knew that the pandemic was going to happen, and all of my like gigs and clients, and I was gonna travel to Tulum in April of 2020 to do meditation groups. Like 3 months worth of work canceled because of the pandemic, obviously. So that was like my livelihood. How I made money was through events and through seeing clients in person. March of 2020, I decided to open up TikTok because Instagram was kind of like boring me and I wasn't creatively inspired anymore. So I started like doing dances like everyone else was doing on TikTok. And then later that month, I started sharing spiritual content and I started sharing about manifestation because I felt like it was a great platform in order for people to have hope, right? So many of my videos went viral, and that was like TikTok 2020 when it was very easy to go viral. And I went from 50 followers to 75,000 followers within like 6 months. And I got to work with Keys Soul Care, which is Alicia Keys skincare, TikTok itself. And I got to work with all these cool brands. And then my editor found my TikTok video of when I'm sharing the alternate nostril breathing. And that's the actual breath work that is included in this book. And so 2021, 2 years later, a little less than 2 years later, my editor found me on TikTok. And so my point of this is I took daily action. Did I know that it was going to lead to a book deal? No. Did I know that it was going to lead to brand deals? No. And mind you, I met so many amazing people, other creators, other spiritual people. And I got to collaborate and get to know so many other amazing people on this platform. And it really opened up my world into what's possible with content creation. I just took the steps. And I wasn't like necessarily concerned. Yeah, sure. I was concerned about the money because, again, I wasn't making any money at the time. But very quickly, I started offering classes. I started offering moon circles, and I started teaching Reiki. And so it was like, had I had just been like afraid that all of my work was canceled for 3 months, I would never have had the mindset to change all of my offerings to be online. And then having a better work-life balance, being able to be more at home, being able to rest my body more, not having to travel all the time, but also being able to do this anywhere in the world. So I truly believe that when you just trust and you take daily action, you just never know where that will lead you. And lo and behold, 2 years later, I have a published book. So that's the moral of the story. So today's exercise is, what step will you take today? What bold step are you going to take with faith and trust? Again, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s quote was, "You don't have to see the whole staircase. You just have to start somewhere." So that might mean for you doing your first video, talking about spirituality, talking about something that you're passionate about, making that art, creating that song, writing that down, whatever it is, reaching out to somebody, telling that you like them. Whatever it is, do it today. Today is Friday, which is ruled by Freya, Venus, Aphrodite, the goddess of love. So make bold moves. Jupiter and Venus are in Aries, making bold moves towards your dreams. The go deeper exercise is to share your dreams, wishes, desires, and goals with other people that you trust, that can hold your manifestation and hold you accountable. Because again, you can only manifest when you put yourself out there, when you take daily action steps. Okay? So tomorrow we start week 6, the last week, the last 4 days. And I can't stress this enough, that we are moving into a different kind of timeline. We are quantum leaping, and it's really, really imperative that you trust in what you don't see, so that when you can use these gifts and these tools for the future, anytime you're in a pickle, anytime you're in a life challenge, you have these tools now to get you through anything. Ask your guides, ask your higher self, what would you want me to do today? What are you calling me to share? What should I do? And listen to your heart. Okay, that was very aggressive the way I said that, but I'm super passionate, and we can all manifest something. We have another we have a next full moon. I think it's March 5th or something. It's the full moon in Virgo. The full moon in Virgo is on March 7th, and then we have a new moon in Aries. So like we're wrapping stuff up here from our past. So with that being said, like always, if you want to buy this book, it's available on Barnes & Nobles, Amazon, bookshop.org, IndieBound, Kindle, and Audible. And if you want a one-on-one session with me through Reiki or through your astrology reading, the links are down below. And thank you so much. See you tomorrow for day 36.